I know it's not immediately apparent, but I'm actually a super small creator. I'm sorry, I've been lying to you all. But one of the benefits of being a small creator is I get a lot of direct feedback from my viewers, and it's super cool. And sometimes I can take requests. Some people in my community have told me that they would like to see reviews for more budget-friendly, consumer-oriented products. As someone who hoards gear and then makes review videos as a convenient excuse to keep collecting said gear, this is an excellent request that's great for my wallet. Finally, I can afford both more headphones and 72-pound Costco Parmesan cheese wheels. It really is the best of both worlds. I didn't get a request for any headphone in particular, but in my possession is a headphone that I think meets the requirements of being a budget-friendly, consumer-oriented over-ear headphone. And, in fitting with the theme of shouting out my audience, this headphone that I'm reviewing today was gifted to me by a viewer, which is super cool. They totally didn't have to do that, but it's greatly appreciated. Big shout out to Boss Gaming for this awesome gift. Now, to say there's plenty of great options for really good sounding Bluetooth over-ear headphones for under $100 would be like saying, I know where the clitoris is. Incredibly unlikely. Yeah, there aren't many options for truly great sounding wireless headphones in this price category, but I heard about a set of cans that had me pretty interested. It has a reputation for sounding damn good for the price, as well as having features that are standard on much more expensive models, but might not always be on cheaper models. The 1More Sonoflow. You know, when I'm on the go, I generally prefer earbuds or IEMs, but I thought it'd be nice to have a pair of Bluetooth over-ear headphones, and I don't really like the sound of stuff like Bose Quiet Comforts or Sony XM4s. They're just too bass-heavy and too muddy, and stuff like the Focal Batiste is just way out of my price range. I know how it's supposed to be pronounced. It's the Focal Batiste, but anytime I see its name written in text, I just want to say Bathis. I heard some folks talking about the 1More Sonoflow, and I became interested in it because the praise and hype surrounding it seemed organic. Other Bluetooth headphones in this price range have been shilled endlessly by techtubers, and it made me very distrustful of them, but the 1More was different, and thanks to a very generous community member, I got to try it, and now review it. Is it the best sounding ANC truly wireless headphone for under $100? Let's find out. So first, let's talk about the non-sound related stuff, the build quality and features. The build quality is serviceable. The plastic feels pretty cheap, but the headphone is cheap, so I'm okay with that. So the majority of it is made of plastic, and the plastic is pretty thin, but it does feel well constructed. There is some metal in the adjustment mechanism though, so it is pretty cool to see some metal parts in a sub $100 pair of Bluetooth headphones. I have headphones that cost way more than this that are entirely made of plastic. AKG K702, what are you doing, buddy? Where are your metal parts? I'm gonna have to knock off a couple of points there, buddy. Don't worry, you still sound great though. Sennheiser HD599, where are your metal parts? I don't see them. You can also lay these headphones flat and fold them up, so that's really good for portability and comfort for when you're wearing them and you want to just take them off and hang them around your neck. You can do that. First really great feature of these is the super long battery life. 70 hours of battery life with ANC turned on. USB-C. They have physical buttons, which I will always prefer over touch controls. Much like the action of going to Olive Garden, touch controls are something that make me disproportionately angry. I hate them, which is why I'm so happy that the Sonoflow has physical buttons. The buttons feel pretty cheap, but the headphones are cheap, so it's like, whatever, I can't complain too much. All that matters is they got buttons and they work. Good. Another great feature on these, the price. You can find these typically for under $100 and frequently at a significant discount on 1More's own website. As of the time of writing this script, 1More currently has these on sale for $64 US. An ANC Bluetooth headphone with good features for $64 is a damn good price. I sure hope they sound good. The ANC on this does work, and it works pretty well, but obviously it's not going to be on the same level as something like Sony XM5s or Bose Quiet Comforts or Apple AirPods Maxes. I think for the money, it functions pretty good. It does a pretty good job of quieting voices if you're in a crowded area like a mall or some other store, but stuff like heavy traffic, it's not quite as effective at. It makes them noticeably quieter, but it can't totally block them out. If you're in a vehicle, it does a pretty good job of neutralizing the sound of the engine, and it can easily remove the sound of a fan or air conditioner from a room. Transparency mode, it works. It's a feature that I don't really use, but I can confirm that it's there and it works. The cool thing about this headphone is the app has a lot of really good features and it's super easy to use. These do also in fact utilize the LDAC Bluetooth codec, which is Sony's high-resolution Bluetooth codec. While it's not lossless, it's pretty close, and it's really cool that the Sonoflow can utilize it. One other feature that I find to be really neat is they have a soothing sounds mode, which I assume is for like meditation and for helping people go to sleep, stuff like that. You know, relaxation. They just kind of play these ambient soundscapes that are pretty relaxing. I don't know, it's pretty cool, I like it. You also get a ton of EQ presets as well as a 10-band custom EQ setting. And of course, it can take phone calls and stuff. Last but not least, you also get this super nice hard case, and what I really like about it is its small footprint. Like, look at this, it's thin and the radius is small, like this could easily fit into a backpack. And for under $100, to get a headphone that's feature-rich and includes an actually really nice case for just $64, whether or not this headphone sounds good or bad, I think is objectively a great value. The only things these are really missing is a sensor that pauses your music when you take the headphones off, as well as fast charging. But that's pretty much it. Comfort. Being made of a thin plastic, this makes the 1More Sonoflow very light. The ear cups are made of a soft pleather that provides adequate padding, and there's some more of that padding on the top of the headband. I remember when I was reviewing the Heavies H1H, I talked about the padding not being enough on the headband, but I'm pleased to report that the padding on the Sonoflow's headband is perfect. The ear cups are pretty shallow, and they aren't super wide, but they can fully encompass my ear, and I have pretty big ears. But if you don't like a shallow fit, these probably aren't going to be too comfortable for you. The ear cups have a good amount of swivel and they adjust easily and can fit pretty much all head sizes. These overall, to me, are quite comfortable, and I can wear these for several hours on end with no issues. So these are great for taking to the gym or just walking around outside. Sound quality. I couldn't find a frequency response from a source that I personally trust for these, so I'll do my best to describe how these sound according to what I hear. As soon as you connect them to your phone, they're gonna sound pretty damn bassy and muddy. In order for these to sound their best, you're gonna need the smartphone app. As soon as you turn on the LDAC option, the sound of these headphones completely changes. They're still dark and have a bass-forward sound signature, but the bass is much better and more controlled once the LDAC feature is active. It definitely sounds like there's a recession in the mid and upper treble, and they don't have a whole lot of vocal forwardness. While the frequency response does greatly improve once the LDAC is active, I still think that for some people, this sound signature is still going to sound too dark. When compared to how it sounds right out of the box, it's a great improvement, though it's still dark sounding with a bit of bass blow. It's a sound signature that is still overall pretty similar to Sony XM4's 5s and Bose Quiet Comforts. So if you like the sound of those headphones, you're probably going to be perfectly happy with these. But for me personally, it's still just a bit too muddy. So yeah, basically these headphones fucking suck. Anyway, goodbye, that's the end of the video. At least that's what I would say, if that's all there is. But you see, these have a Joker's trick up their sleeve. The bass's frequency response improves even further when you add the ANC. I wouldn't describe it as balanced, but the masking that happens as a result of having a muddy bass response does go away and clears up the mids, and results in a dark and warm sound profile that many people are going to like. Turning on LDAC and noise cancelling at the same time massively improves the frequency response. In addition, they have 12 EQ presets and a 10-band EQ for custom EQ profiles. I'm sure there's gonna be an EQ preset that you're gonna like. My favorite in particular is the bass reducer preset, which not only reduces the bass like it says, but makes the sound profile a lot more balanced, and, dare I say, neutral. The EQ feature this app has works very well, and with just a little bit of EQ, you can make these sound amazing. So to sum up its tuning, right out of the box, the frequency response is very boomy and muddy, but with a couple of tweaks, these can sound very good. And what I like about it is how customizable the sound quality is. My attitude towards EQ is typically, EQ can't always make a bad headphone sound better, but it can make a good sounding headphone with a few tuning deficiencies sound much better. And this definitely feels like the case with the Sonoflow. Its performance on the subjective sound, as some audiophiles may expect from a budget Bluetooth headphone, it's not very good. Its timbre is definitely artificial sounding, with cymbals and sibilant sounds in particular having a tendency to sound plasticky and bit crushed. There's really nothing as far as sound staging and imaging goes either, and as you may have guessed, there's not a significant amount of information and detail retrieval as well. I'm totally fine with a budget-oriented headphone not being super detailed. It's just something that I kinda expect. With Bluetooth headphones and budget products, there are just certain sacrifices that have to be made in order to keep costs down and make the earbuds or headphones more convenient to use. Usually, it's going to be in the subjective aspects of the sound quality that's sacrificed. Thankfully, the frequency response is okay, and it can sound excellent with a few minor tweaks, so I'm fine with the subjective performance taking a hit. Do I recommend it? For a headphone that's this cheap, that has this many features, already that's a slamming deal. I'm still quite skeptical of similarly priced headphones that I'm sure you've seen techtubers talk about and hype up to no end. It's like, short circuit. I would like to check out some of those hyped up products for myself and give them a fair shake. Stuff like Raycons and Anker Soundcore and some of the newer Beats products and, Razer. I thought the 1More Sonoflow had potential because of how the discussion and praise surrounding it seemed organic. I've used the 1More Sonoflow for a number of hours and messed around with its various features. I really would love to see more budget-friendly closed-back headphones in general at or below $100, but there really just aren't a whole lot. I've heard good things about the JBL Tune 710 though, so if you want me to do a review of those, let me know. But this is one of the few closed backs at this price point that sounds not just tolerable, but actually really good. So yes, I do recommend it. It's a solid headphone. But, here comes a new challenger. Apple EarPods, now in USB-C flavor. And yeah, it's kinda no contest. The EarPods just win.